Hey there everyone, I'm your host Rahim and you are watching the Everyday Talk on YouTube. And like always, today we are also going to be talking about on a very curious topic, which is that who should buy the iPad 11th generation, which is the base iPad nowadays, and is it a trigger for a student for students, or is it just something to skip and go for another option? Just stay tuned with us to get the answer to this question. Subscribe to the channel and like the video if you find the content interesting. Let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about that why this iPad exists. Basically, I think so that it exists for making the student life easier. It is not that expensive. It does not breaks the bank. It provides a lot of good quality features, and it has all the things needed in the iPad which could just help you go through or go around the university life. Now the question is that what about the design and display? It comes with the same old 10.9 inches display, which is somewhat similar to the iPad Air, but it is the liquid retina display and not the laminated one, which is, I think so, one of the biggest downgrade in this iPad whatsoever. And nothing else is that much, I think so, bad for someone who is looking for an iPad to take notes, or he or she is looking for sketching. Now notes could be just, you can say, passed through this entire thing, but when it comes to sketching, it is going to be very crucial for any artist to just work on the digital canvas and have a laminated display, because it does not just only provide less reflections, but it just also eliminates a gap between the Apple Pencil and the iPad, and it helps a lot. I have given a lot of time to this part because this is my biggest complaint with the base level iPad, and I hope so that with the next generation it just got fixed. Other than that, it is thin bezel-less latest design. There is a inbuilt fingerprint scanner in the power button, and then the camera has just shifted towards from the horizontal to the vertical position. That is also one good thing. There is center stage and all the things like that. Coming towards performance for the students, which is the most crucial part of this, I think so, entire video. Now this is the only iPad, let me tell you, the iPad 11th generation, which does not still come with the M series of chip. It just still holds A15 Bionic chipset, but let me make it clear for you, it is very fast. Even in 2025, in the end of 2025, when AI is just taking over everything, Apple is not in that race anywhere, I think so, but still the things which require to use AI, the A15 Bionic, just trust me, is more than good enough. Either you are taking notes, you are doing multitasking, you are opening different windows, or even you are getting used to the newer features of iPad OS 26 and using all of them for the multitasking. I have never seen any lag in my test unit, which I just bought from a friend actually, to just work on it and just see that for myself that how good that iPad is in day-to-day life. I just take notes on it. I just used it for viewing a lot of content. I just viewed a lot of you can say TV shows. I just go through some movies on that iPad, and it was just good enough. Even though I'm using the iPad Pro M1, which had a great screen, I have used M2. I am also into just looking into buying M4, and I've used that by borrowing it from a friend. But I could tell you that there is not a difference which could be seen without just putting them side by side and then seeing that what they are offering. So you do not need to stress a lot about that. And for note taking, for taking Zoom classes, for multitasking, for split view, for any such thing, students are never going to be just being disappointed with this performance. Secondly, there is Apple Pencil first generation USB-C and Apple Pencil USB-C port on this iPad, which is also very good. Now USB Type-C is somewhat okay, but with the first generation, the charging method is very weird. If you could just go through that, still the Apple Pencil first generation is very great. Just you have to see that the circular design fits your needs, or you just want to go with this kind of, you can say, a little bit more like natural pencil design with my Apple Pencil second generation. So that is all towards you. Then there are some accessories like the Apple's own keyboard case for the iPad 11th generation, which is very great and could be somewhat your laptop replacements if you could just find the specific apps to run on your Mac on your iPad, which you are used to be running on your you can say the laptop or your MacBook. Like a lot of softwares like DaVinci Resolve and other such professional softwares are also now coming and debuting on the iPad. So just you are not, I think so, be left lonely with this part of the, you can say, your iPad experience. And then coming towards the battery and portability. Now once again, the same battery life, 10-hour battery life, but when it comes to portability, I've just ditched my entire, you can say, books, my entire you can say the library of you can say the notebooks, and even it is working for me as a multiple devices. It is my ebook reader, it is my notebook, it is my textbook, it was my research tool. So in the university world, I think so, you could not ask for more. So portability is just, I think so, ending on the iPad. Then coming towards why it is better than a cheap laptop. Now once again, there is no, I think so, point in buying a cheap laptop when you could just go for iPad, because they are going to be laggy. When you are specifically going with the Windows, they're going to be laggy. There is going to be no, I think so, practical use with that laptop. So even though if the applications you are looking forward are not running on the iPad, still you are getting to run a lot of other things very well, despite those applications are also not going to be working on a cheap laptop, but I think so. And if they are never going to be that good. If you are just planning on running some social media account, on editing some videos, on doing some client work, all these professional things are possible with the iPad, but with not with the budget, you can say, laptop, which is going to be in the same 329 rupees price range, which is a little bit more with the 10th and 11th generation variants. Now finally, talking about the storage recommendations, just closing up the video, I would just like to recommend that go for at least 128, and the 64 is not good enough and is not enough in 2025 when the things are getting very wild, I think so, in the storage capacity. And the real world student use, according to my notes out here, for the medical students, annotating PDF, drawing diagrams; for engineering students, accessing lecture slides, digital note taking; for arts, creative apps, obviously, like a lot of apps like LumaFusion, and for video editing, and all these things could be used. You are in arts, so you could do anything, I think so. Then quick sheets for the business students, presentations, spreadsheet, research applications, Apple pages like applications, the Apple, you can, sheets like applications are just going to be running very smooth on this iPad. And finally, for the content creators, basic editing and Canva design, even pro editing is now possible with the DaVinci Resolve available and LumaFusion available on the iPad. So finally, the price is going to be much lesser. But once again, I would just like to recommend you that if you are looking forward to just use the iPad for day-to-day use, just go with the 10th generation and do not spend that extra money on 11th generation. You could just buy some extra accessory or case for you to just enjoy your iPad experience even more. Finally, who should not buy it actually? The people who are professionals, who are looking for ProMotion display, who are looking for the power of M series chip, who are looking for advanced video editing, just go with the iPad Air at least, or the iPad Pro is going to be the best one. But if you are just going to do the casual work, you are a student and things like that, it is just a heaven for students. Let me just make it clear at the end of the video. And I would just definitely recommend the students to go with the iPad 11th generation if you are on a budget, and if you are not, just go for the latest and the greatest, guys, what you are still doing in the video. So jokes apart, if you enjoyed what we share with you and this entire video, kindly subscribe to the channel, and liking the video would just really help us with the algorithm and grow us as a family together. So until then, just stay curious, keep exploring, and peace out.